have to acknowledge how people abuse their power, how these organizations oftentimes enable abusers. We have to.
Today on Fresno Focus, Cesar Chavez's memory removed, how the university is addressing recent controversial findings.
And we learn about a nonprofit flight school here in Fresno and how it helps students become pilots.
Plus, what if I told you your next classroom could be located in another country? Fresno State is helping students make that happen. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Lauren Avila.
And I'm Jerry Hawker. Fresno State's Cesar Chavez statue is now a thing of the past. It's unclear if anything will replace the monument that stood in the Peace Garden for 30 years. The school removed the statue following a bombshell New York Times article detailing the claims from several women that Chavez raped and groomed them when they were young girls. In the wake of the news, United Farm Workers Union co-founder Dolores Huerta said she was also raped by Chavez. Community members are reeling, and professors are searching for ways to address this in class.
But what is harmful about focusing on leaders only is that we sanctify them. Many of my students today were saying we put them on a pedestal, and then we have these unrealistic expectations about what leadership should look like.
Murals of Chavez around town have been painted over. The city of Fresno is changing the street signs to Cesar Chavez Boulevard back to their original names.
The Merced County Board of Supervisors wants to make Merced County the highest performing county in the state of California. The board hosted the inaugural State of the County event at Merced Theater last Friday. Members of the board shared future plans, which include park and county road improvements, a new library in Dos Palos, and a new radio system for public safety officers. The board also shared the current status for Merced County regarding the high-speed rail.
We are working closely with partners at the state and regional level to make sure Merced County is positioned to participate fully in the opportunities created by high-speed rail, and that our community is not left out as this project progresses.
The event celebrated the people of Merced as well as completed projects, which include the restoration of Merced's historic courthouse and the county cleanup of homeless encampments.
Staying in North Valley, a Merced artist is using his talent to inspire curiosity across the valley.
You may have seen his work at the airport or driving on the freeway. He's hoping that each time someone passes his art, they get a little more curious about the cultures around them.
Fue el mural que más me impactó y el que más me influyó.
Saul Siete Gonzalez has been drawn to art from a young age. Art is a form of therapy that he shares with his community.
The themes I address are not related to only identity, not only to just decorating empty spaces, but also to making people feel motivated by what they see.
Gonzalez painted murals at San Pablo Park and at the Fresno Yosemite International Airport.
The Central Valley, for many Hispanic people, for many immigrants, for us, represents a clear path to opportunity. And those opportunities come in the form of agriculture.
I'm currently at Farron's Park, where the city of Merced will soon have a local artist turn this tunnel into a piece of art. Saul shares his art in places like this to reach everyday people, to serve as a reminder that everyone belongs and everyone matters, a message that leaves an immediate impression.
Painting should be everywhere, and it helps people see the world as it is, and it's a beautiful picture.
Those flowers that are very representative of our country, those costumes that are mainly from Oaxaca, and all the colors they created. He is an excellent painter. Gonzalez continues to pursue his passions for himself, but shares them to inspire others.
Sí. Sí.
When he is not painting, Saul is involved in local community classes for music and sports. He's focusing on his mental health and helping others to do the same.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
This year's graduates are celebrating at the Smith Camp Alumni House with GradFest. From food trucks to great photo opportunities to graduation crafts, GradFest is an event meant to not only give students their grad boxes, but to also introduce them to alumni life. Grads can also pick up their cap and gowns at the Candle Bookstore.
GradFest is a really awesome opportunity to get your first taste of alumni life. It's a celebration of all of your hard work and your introduction to what it means to be an alum. So come to GradFest. If you get your grad box, that's great. If not, we still got a lot of fun stuff to welcome you into the next chapter.
Grad boxes are available after GradFest if grads end up wanting to buy one. Just call the Alumni House to get yours.
Now to the new kids on the block. Fresno State is getting ready for the class of 2030. Fresno State hosted Preview Day on Saturday, giving incoming students a chance to see what's on campus. The day celebrates a new milestone for these upcoming students, with campus tours, club booths, free goodies, and even financial aid workshops. Families were also invited to show off that bulldog spirit.
And lots of students come to college with dreams of studying abroad. But for many of them, those dreams will stay dreams because it's too expensive or they don't know where to go for help. Reporter Kimberly Preciado shares how Fresno State can help students turn their study abroad dreams into reality.
From walking through the streets in a new country and experiencing life in a different culture, Fresno State students are taking their education beyond the classroom. Students can choose from fall, spring, or summer programs in different countries.
My Fresno State experience was amazing. I studied abroad in Spain this summer, and it was not as costly as I expected.
Back on campus, the Study Abroad office helps students find programs that match their academic
try
goals.
really hard to make sure that the students, we're meeting the students' goals and their budget.
I'm outside the Family and Food Sciences building where the Study Abroad office is located. The doors are open for students, and when you come in, there is various flyers and information about the scholarships. There is information about scholarships, programs, and around the cost of each program.
Tiene mucho beneficio. Por ejemplo, para mí, ver a mi estudiante crecer, ¿no?
So Fresno State students can get the best of both worlds, traveling and learning. From the Study Abroad office, Kimberly Preciado, Fresno State Focus.
If you're interested in exploring different cultures and countries, the Study Abroad office can help you find the right program for you.
Now for students looking to study abroad, Fresno State's Passport Office is making it easier to prepare for takeoff. The Passport Office, located in room 140A in the Kremen Education Building, helps students through all the steps to get a passport. Appointments are available online, but students are welcome to walk in.
This office is very important for students because we offer easy access to getting a passport. For example, like students who live on campus, they're able to just walk in whenever they like from Monday and Friday from 9 to 3:30 rather than having to leave campus to go get their passport.
All of the fees paid through Fresno State's Passport Office go directly toward funding study abroad programs and providing grants for students.
In Fresno, becoming a pilot can cost anywhere between $14,000 and $20,000. But reporter Fernandez Sistos has the story of a local nonprofit helping students get off the ground without the heavy price tag.
Inside the cockpit of this training plane, students are preparing for a career that demands time, dedication, thousands of hours, and thousands of dollars. For high school students like Manuel Maldonado, that journey is already underway.
Right, so you see, with this program, I'm kind of aiming to get my private pilot's license. We have 0.7 hours of flight time. You do try your best to kind of cover your costs. Once I graduate from high school, I can get the rest of my certifications.
For many aspiring pilots, the cost and training requirements can make the career hard to reach, but programs like this nonprofit are working to lower those barriers. Leading the effort is Joseph Oldman, president of New Vision Aviation.
Aviation is an industry that needs a lot of people, but the cost of entry is pretty high. We operate primarily off of grant funding. Helps us provide the money necessary to train a number of students at no cost to get their initial pilot certification.
Aviation student Bridget Maravilla sees the program as a gateway into aviation.
It gives opportunities for people who live here and for younger generations too, to have that opportunity to experience what aeronautics is.
By giving students hands-on flight experience and access to training, New Vision Aviation is turning barriers into opportunities, helping the next generation of pilots reach new heights. Reporting from the skies above Fresno, Fernanda Sistos, Fresno State Focus.
New Vision Aviation is helping local students reach the skies, and the nonprofit says it's still looking for more students to join the program. For a link to the program, visit FresnoStateFocus.com. Coming up on Fresno State Focus, we take a look at what these student engineers are working on in the sky over Fresno State.
Plus, they say it's never too late to start pursuing your passion. See how one young business owner is doing that.
And see what the weather looks like for your spring break. All that when we come back.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
This just in, Fresno State is gearing up for the biggest event of the year, Vintage Days.
That's right, the campus is about to transform into a festival of fun.
Here at Vintage Days, you'll once again find live entertainment, delicious foods, and even a beer and wine garden.
And don't forget the Kids Zone, the Anime Gaming Con, and the Crafts Fair.
And the best part, free admission and parking.
Join us April 17th to the 19th at Fresno State.
Look at that view from our Craig School of Business here at Fresno State. Looking like clear skies, definitely a lot cooler than last week. I know everyone, myself included, are happy to be taking a break from the sweltering heat that we were experiencing last week. And I was just absolutely melting going to class. So if we go from there, going into our national look, places like New York on the East Coast are experiencing a lot of rain. And it's only going to amp up when we see that cold front heading toward them. It's definitely going to plummet them into the 50s and 60s with a lot of showers throughout. But that's actually a really stark contrast as we move more to the Midwest, where they're actually experiencing above average highs, with a lot of places hitting above 90. But more to our western, more closer to home, we're also gearing up to cool down with this cold front coming through. But we already kind of started seeing a lot of that this week in a lot of places in our valley. From about Stockton to Porterville, we're seeing our temperatures going into the 80s. Places like Mariposa and the foothills, Shaver Lake are a lot cooler. So if you're one that enjoys those lake days, cooler lake days especially, definitely a good time to check it out. And definitely a good thing to take advantage of. But tonight's low, everything's going to about even out with Visalia right there sticking out at 60. And for our air quality, I know something to keep in mind. It is going to be moderate throughout the valley, but still a little bit sensitive, for more vulnerable groups. So something to definitely watch out for if you're going to be outdoors, but not a bad time to get out there. Looking at our 7-day forecast, heading into spring break, we're evening out 80s, for this weekend. Partly cloudy, some cloud cover, but favorable conditions if you're going to head out this weekend. If you're going to stay in town, we are going to see some rain on Tuesday, 65% chance, and with that comes lower temperatures, and that's next week, so that's something to look out for. But that's your weather report. Back to you guys at the desk.
Students are launching innovation into the sky here at Fresno State. Isaac Marquez gives us a look at the Rocketry Club here on campus.
Rockets and science. That's what the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics Club at Fresno State is centered around.
We get to do a lot of technical projects. It really brings what we do in classrooms and engineering, like in books and stuff, to real life and real world and hands-on stuff. So I think it makes the degree worth it, you know, to get to work in real life on what we're doing.
The club hosts workshops open to anyone where other members will help people build their own personal rockets, regardless of experience.
Every time I've talked to some people, some of the members of the club, they've all been very welcoming. No one's been rude, no one's been mean. They all want to help me get to where I could be.
And this is where the magic happens in this room. I mean, here's some rockets that people have been working on, some more over here, some larger scale ones that they've been working on. Countless hours have been put in this room. Here's a 3D printer, so much going on all the time right here. They also compete in NASA-hosted competitions that calls for more complex electrical and structural science.
I'm working currently on the fins and the boat tail, this bottom section here for this year's competition rocket. And before this, I didn't have any experience with composites, any experience with rockets, but the people there, they facilitate everything so well.
Members range from mechanical and electrical engineers to even some business majors looking to find a hobby. From Fresno State, Isaac Marquez, Fresno State Focus.
The club hosts its open workshops on Fridays at 3 in the afternoon in Engineering West Room 103.
If you love movies but want to change from the typical theater experience, you'll be happy to hear that the Madera Drive-In is lighting up the big screen once again. It's officially open for the season, welcoming movie lovers back under the night sky. It is just off Highway 99 and leans into its nostalgic experience with double features, low-price tickets, and a classic movie snacks. Gates typically open before sunset around 6:30. The reopening marks the return of a community tradition just in time for these warm spring nights. The Fresno State Pre-Veterinary Club is helping pet owners keep track of their pets. The club hosted a vaccine and microchipping clinic at the Animal Science Pavilion on Saturday. Students administered rabies vaccines for $10 and DHPP, hepatitis, and parvovirus vaccines for $15. Microchips were available for $25 and nail trims were available for $6. No appointments were necessary and patients were required to come in on a leash to receive the services. A Hanford woman is using an unconventional method to heal the souls of the people in her community. But stereotypes are a big challenge she faces. Inside the home of Tasha, Hall uses the gifts passed down to her to heal the spiritual and emotional pain of people who need it. Hall is a specific type of African shaman known as a Sanoma. This deeply rooted African practice isn't always accepted here in America.
I think it's because the stereotype maybe that's put into Sangomas. So there's a fear that was also in my own family and even in my own mother. She didn't want me to take this. So if I can relate to that in my own family, I can understand why other people will misunderstand me.
Hall communicates with ancestors who have passed on to guide people through the healing process of loss and forgiveness. Back to you guys at the desk.
At just 20 years old, most young adults are focused on classes, friends, and figuring out what comes next. One local business owner is already opening his doors before sunrise, balancing responsibility, pressure, and passion far beyond his years. Alan Gallo shows us how age is not holding David Romo back from building something of his own.
Gloomy, raining, and windy. It's not an ideal day, but it's perfect for a hot drink. In Dinuba, one coffee shop is now just opening their doors. This idea came to David Romo as a joke with friends.
So in 8th grade, I planned to start a cafe with my friends. It was a super unserious thing, at least I thought so at the time.
While working for Starbucks, he found an entirely new world to coffee making.
Took everything, I took all the knowledge I could get for coffee.
What he found the most rewarding was seeing a person's taste change because of something he recommended.
It's nutty, it's rich.
But it's also been a bumpy road.
I caught one of my employees committing timesheet fraud. That was really difficult.
Luckily, he has real friends around him.
He is getting to practice his craft and then give that same experience to somebody else and, really show his passion through his work.
And one thing that David is trying to do is expand his community. Hiring within, getting creatives from within, and, marketing it that way. It's a brilliant strategy. Just grow from within. Eventually, you'll get the loyalty.
I think it's so cool that Arcadia is mine, but Arcadia has never been just mine.
Allowing his employees to bring forth their own creative assets, he's using his community as a stepping stone towards a better future. In Dinuba, Alan Gallo, Fresno State Focus.
At 20 years old, Romo is building a platform for the people around him.
Fresno State students are using art to tell powerful stories and bring the community together around farm workers. The Farm Workers Advocacy Club hosted its second annual art exhibition, Rostros del Campo. The show featured a gallery showcasing photographs and videos of farm worker testimonies. The club hopes the gallery helps the community better understand the challenges farm workers face and the resilience they exemplify.
It's important for these students going into agriculture to know the different aspects, because Fresno State does offer business, economics about agriculture, but they don't really show the production, the harvest.
The club plans to continue raising awareness and giving a voice to farm workers. They're always looking for volunteers who want to get involved and help make a difference on and off campus.
Learn about a pianist-composer using technology to reshape her career.
Plus, the student newspaper is holding an event to grow their readership and build more connections.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit up in my head. Up in my head to stay. I got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit up in my head, deep in my heart, down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit all over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit
deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart, deep in my heart. I got that bulldog spirit.
Welcome back, Bulldogs. I'm Alexis Parra with your Focus on Sports. Now, after 144 days, the MLB returns tonight. Former Diamond Dog Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees take on the San Francisco Giants later today for opening night. The official opening day is tomorrow with a full 14-game slate starting at 10:15 in the morning with Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the New York Mets. The back-to-back World Series champs, the Los Angeles Dodgers, host the NL West division rival, the Arizona Diamondbacks, at 5:30. So grab those peanuts, grab those Cracker Jacks. Baseball is officially back. Now, keeping it on the field, it's time to celebrate our Diamond Dogs and give them their flowers. After a 10-game losing streak, the Diamond Dogs finally make a break, crushing Long Beach 8-1. The Dirtbags did not expect the Diamond Dogs to bounce back from what it looked like a rough start of conference play. Caden Muster was on fire, hitting a 3-run home run and keeping it hot with 3 more RBIs. That started all the rally as balls hit the walls for our offense, keeping it going with 2 more home runs and 6 walks. Let's hope this starts a winning streak. The Fresno State Athletics has several teams in action at home and on the road for the rest of the week. Our softball team will make the field at home Friday night for the start of a 3-game series against UNLV. The first pitch sets for 6 p.m. with games continuing over the weekend. The Diamond Dogs continue their busy spring schedule both midweek and the weekend as the matchup to continue conference play. Plus, our track and field team is competing at the Veterans Memorial Stadium in Clovis Friday and Saturday for the West Coast Relays. For the full list of the game times and events, fans can visit gobulldogs.com/calendar. Now that's your focus on sports. Back to you guys on the desk.
Thanks, Lexi. A Fresno State student-run organization will soon have a new way to connect on campus. The Collegian is hosting its first ever Collegian Fest on April 6th from 11 to 3 in the Memorial Gardens. This is the day we come back from spring break. There will be music, a photo booth, raffle prizes, and an appearance from Victory Bulldog himself. Students will also meet the team behind the newspaper and learn more about how to get involved.
One thing I am willing to look forward to is definitely create relationships. A lot of students, they just want to get to know other people, learn about the Collegian, or just have a great time with their friends.
Organizers say the event is all about bringing students together while building new connections across campus. Collegian Fest will be free to attend and open to everyone. And in the studio, we have a special guest.
Let's go to Marcus Marquez, who's with an organizer of Collegian Fest, to talk more about what to expect.
Thanks, Lauren. Today we have Oscar Lopez here with us to discuss Collegian Fest and give us more insight on how things will go. How are you doing today, Oliver?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me today, Marcos.
So in the past, I know that the Collegian has had tabling events, which are different than what the Collegian Fest is. So how is it different?
So a tabling event, it's more of a smaller focus setup where we interact with students on a one-on-one basis.
Right.
But the Collegian Fest aims to create a big, broader event where we have not only the Collegian, but also the MCJ department, including the Focus, PRSSA, and FSR Underground with other businesses showcasing what they offer. And also we'll have music, we'll have activities, we'll have merchandise giveaways and stuff like that.
Lots of people involved.
Lots of them.
Hey, Oliver. So, event goers have access to the paw print, the student newspaper?
Yes. Hopefully, we'll be out there handing out the paw print to everyone we see and promoting our services and products.
That's all the time we have for today, Oliver. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you guys at the desk.
A new generation of musicians is finding audiences far beyond the concert hall. Through online platforms, artists are sharing their creative process with viewers around the world. At Fresno State, one visiting musician showed students how technology is reshaping what a career in music can look like. Joseph Malcolm brings us to the stage.
For many musicians, a performance begins with a seat at the piano. For pianist and composer Nare Sol, the creative process continues online where millions of viewers follow her work through YouTube and social media.
When time stops while I'm creating, I think that's when I feel the most in the moment. When I'm not thinking about am I in the moment or not, I'm just not even aware of time.
Sol visited Fresno State to share that process with students, showing how musicians can connect with audiences in new ways.
This may look like just playing notes, but for Nare Sol, this is only the beginning. You wouldn't believe the kinds of things that she can do with classical music.
That blend of classical training and digital storytelling is changing how some students think about their future in music.
Students need to be able to see that having a career in music can mean lots of different things, and to some extent I think everybody needs to find their own path. Through Nare, they can see that.
Creating music is, for me, just being human right now. It's just a way that I express, I think, the experience of being alive today.
Music may start with a single note at the piano, but today its reach can extend far beyond the stage. Reporting from Fresno State, Joseph Malcolm, Fresno State Focus.
For more of Sol's content and music, head to our website, fresnostatefocus.com.
Fresno State ASI is bringing some fun tonight. Head to the Bucket from 6 to 8 for some free pizza and a night of karaoke. They're calling it Bulldogs Got Talent After Hours.
That sounds like a lot of fun. What's your go-to karaoke song, Jerry?
I'm going old school. Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. What about you, Lauren?
Gotta be Britney. Oops, I Did It Again.
Yeah, well, sorry, Christina Aguilera fans. Britney's the best pop star of her era.
Okay, Bulldogs, we're taking a week off for spring break, but we will be back the following week for another show of Fresno State Focus.
Tune in on April 8th to learn about the services available to veterans in Fresno County.
And calling all bookworms, discover a club in the library that's especially made for you. Thank you for joining us on Fresno State Focus.
We'll see you guys after spring break.